John. I'm going to try something a little bit different here. Um, I was motivated by my buddy Mark to try a Stratomatic webcast podcast. So this is an attempt at that podcast. So I did a few videos a couple years ago. It's been a long time. Took last year off. There was a lot of transition in my life. Moved cross country from Phoenix to Atlanta, so that was cool. And started a new job, and uh, kids are out of the house, so a lot of changes. But I'm looking to get back into it this year. Things have settled down a little bit. Very excited for the upcoming season, the 2025 cards and the 1985 cards. But before that, I wanted to congratulate the newest world champion, Lance, who is an incredible player. I've had the privilege of playing against Lance several times, and he's just incredible. He's one of those guys that every single person and player on his team is drafted for a purpose and serves that purpose, and he really plays his teams um, like a virtuoso, right? Each player fulfilling each individual role um, famously. So, congrats, um, awesome job, and I'm sure it's probably not. I know it's your first, but I'm sure it's probably not going to be your last. So, congrats. Hopefully, I can be there next year in Pittsburgh and give it a go and come this January 2027. So, congrats to Lance. Um, like I said, the season's pretty exciting. 2025, but especially 1985. I started playing Stratomatic um, with my brother Chris giving me birthday present of the Stratomatic game with the 1985 set. So it's the first set I ever played, and man, I was hooked right off the get go. Gosh, to a point, I mean, I used to play all the time to a point where my dad actually threatened to take it away because he was afraid I wasn't doing enough homework. I was just playing Stratomatic all the time, so I was kind of a math geek in grade school, and played baseball from the age of 5 to all the way up till 18. So really great combination of a couple of my passions, and my brother Mike and I, and got a friend of mine across the street, Austin. We used to play after school in their basement, like hours and hours, trying to keep the stats up. Um, Gosh, I remember '85. We had Willie McGee, and Willie McGee's card. That's back when the cards were white. They didn't have the blue and the red colored side. I mean, Willie McGee's card was so dirty from so much use, you could hardly read it at some point. So George Brett's card is unbelievable. So really looking forward to the '85 set. So numbers came out, as everybody knows, about a week ago, and it's kind of a fun time where everybody kind of analyzes and crunches the numbers, and we all kind of known to have our own special formulas or special evaluation techniques. Um, and it used to take me hours and hours to do that. But I'm trying something different this year, and I wanted to share it. So I'm trying to leverage generative AI by using ChatGPT 5.2 to help me, I'll say, glean insights, not just for the new deck that's coming out, but also just for my play in general. So what I've done is I created a digital twin of myself on ChatGPT, and how I did that is I started off by having to load all the appropriate Stratomatic documents in it, right? The rule book, the fielding charts, et cetera, et cetera. So it understands the game, including um, a lot of the probability numbers and card chances from 3 different seasons, just so that it got a comparison. So I had to load all that in to basically teach it the game. What are the rules of the game? And at that point, I could have just said, optimize, etc. But I didn't want to do that. I wanted it to be a twin of myself, to learn how I play the game, what my preferences are, what my decision trees are. So what I did is I loaded in about 50 games that I've played in a narrative style, and talked about those key decision points, why I made the decisions I made, and the basis of those decisions. It took some time, But basically, I taught it what my thought patterns are, what my selection basis and what my decisions are, uh, and most importantly, what was again the basis of those decisions that formulated into me actually taking the actions that I did. So I did that. It actually was ready after about 6 games, but I wanted to make sure it was precise. So I loaded about 50 games in, and then had it analyzed. And now I've taught it now how to manage or think like I think and make decisions like I at least like to make decisions playing Stratomatic. So pretty cool there. Um, I should caveat I don't use this during actual play. I think that would be disingenuous. But let me tell you how I do use it. So now after I get done a game, uh, I'll put the narrative in to the digital twin, and it will provide feedback, coaching to me of my decision quality in certain key elements. So whether it actually has a pretty cool. It's got a green, yellow, and red rating system of my key decisions. But it'll say, it'll give me positive feedback or a green decision that the basis of that decision was consistent with how I play, and give me a yellow one, which is a flag of not detrimental to the outcome of the game, but questions the basis of the decision. And then red, which is, hey, I made an action or a decision that was inconsistent with how I typically play, and or was detrimental to the outcome. Just because, again, a decision doesn't work out doesn't mean it's a poor decision or a bad decision, which it's very keen at. So I use it as basically a real life coach. So after the game, it'll help me, and you don't get that feedback a lot from folks, especially that might not think the way that you think or strategize the way that you strategize. So it's been really powerful. I use it frequently in that nature to just give me feedback. For example, right? I was playing a 1986 retro game with a friend of mine, and lead off the game, and Tim Raines hits a double, lead off double, pretty cool. I think I can remember who was up, maybe Johnny Ray or Tommy Her or something like that. But I tried to steal third, and again, my thinking, first inning, he had a really good pitcher on the mound. I figured runs will be at a premium. It'll probably be a low scoring game. Moving to third with nobody out, and I get that sac fly or whatever it might be. Um, and I got caught stealing. Now I got the lead, and it was like 1-15, I think, to steal. But even with that 75%, I got caught stealing. and at the time, it seemed reasonable, but my digital twin, I like to call him Strato Jon 2.0, provided me coaching, saying, "Hey, that's too aggressive in that point of the ball game, right? You don't want to necessarily do that. You've got a good bunter in the 2 hole. If you really wanted to move him up to third, you could have just sacked him over. But in that case, the expected run value increase from having a guy on second with nobody out with a guy on third with nobody out is a very small increase opposed to the probability of getting thrown out. And then you factor in it's the first inning, right? So too aggressive for my style of play to take that risk, and it was detrimental to the game. I think they ended up losing 2-1. So again, a good coach. If I didn't have that feedback, I could have reflected, but and probably come out with my own. But this allows that reflection and immediate feedback, like in real time basis, of within 10 seconds after the ball game's over, and after I input the stuff in. So that's how I use it. The other thing I'm using it is for the upcoming draft. So now that it knows how I manage and what I value, and how I play and what's most effective, I now can have it rate players from the um, probabilities from the card chances, not on a generic scale, but I had it draft specific formulas that I call the John rating that is skewed or altered to fit my style of play, customized to fit my style of play. So now, based on that, it's not going to be your typical rankings. It's again, specific to my style. Pretty cool. And it digested all that data and was able to do it within, I think, 2.5 minutes it took to basically do all my rankings, which used to take me days and days, weeks. Um, you know, uh, and it creates a spreadsheet, so it's trackable, traceable. I can't share that spreadsheet because of copyright limitations, but it's all for me, which is again so powerful. The other thing it did that I asked it to do is not just to do that detailed breakdown by position, but I also asked it to do analysis by batting order. I like to think of two facets, right? You have the facet of not just having a balanced team defensively and by position and pitching staff, but you also need to have that right batting order of consistent hitters that fit that role, both in both platoon positions. So I was able to do that, to break that out as a guide or a coach to when I'm drafting is don't forget the 2-hole hitter, don't forget a 5-hole hitter. They all are unique to fitting a certain need of the style again that I like to play. So I was able to do that again within like 3.5 minutes. So now I have my pre-draft analysis is fantastic. Topic for a different day. I've come up with about 8 different, I'll say, team styles, team themes that can work. Now I can do mock drafts. So I've been doing automatic mock drafts for it. I can assign different ghost managers to determine what their style is after the first couple rounds that fits the first 2 or 3 rounds of their draft, which is typically how people do it. So anyhow, all that is working out as such an assistant of how I can leverage artificial intelligence in so much more efficient manner of analyzing the current deck. I did it not only for the 2025 deck, but the 85 deck, but also to provide me feedback on my play so that I can continuously improve in how I'm playing and my decision quality. So pretty cool. I'm just curious, you guys are using artificial intelligence in Strat? If so, how? Any feedback? Awesome. Put it in comments. Love to start the conversation. Again, a topic for another day. I can talk about those 8 different, styles or themes of drafting that I like to use. But anyhow, I wanted to share it as a little different, a little unique, very much more efficient so far. I don't know. We'll see if it works. I don't know if it'll work. I'm hoping. We'll see how I do this year in personal play as well as tournament play. So I'm going to be at opening day. I'm pretty jazzed about it. Picking up the cards in person. I went last year, but I was late, so I missed the ceremonies. So I've got it. So I definitely going to be there this time. So looking forward to opening day and looking forward to a pretty exciting year, Stratomatic. Should be fun, all culminating with the Stratomatic Tournament Player Club's World Championship in Pittsburgh next January, which again I hope to be at. Anyhow, my intent is to start these kind of conversations. I think there's a way that I can have like conversations with people over the phone and record them. So we'll see. Maybe we can start doing that a little bit. But just wanted to start this up again from a challenge from a good buddy of mine to share some of my thoughts on Stratomatic and maybe start some dialogue. It's awesome seeing everybody, and I hope that you have a great season. And next time I'll see some of you, we'll be at opening day. Good time.